ritual. Ritual is a way of feeling the weight of a moment and bringing to that a certain kind of dignity and gravitas. And I think that often ends up looking kind of formal, which is okay. And in fact, may be a good thing for those of us in America that we tend to be very informal and casual. So learning how to be a little bit more, I don't know if formal is quite the right word, but having a sense of presence and gravitas for a moment could be a useful practice for all of us. But in the case of this sutra we're chanting this morning, we have no officiants. I'm going to ask Sensei to light a candle before we begin the service. This particular sutra, the story behind this sutra is that there was a epidemic in the city of Vaisali, which is in northern India, and apparently people acted poorly during epidemics way back then, just like they do now during pandemics. There's a history of people acting poorly during pandemics, and so we're not unique that way. Apparently people acted out of greed, anger, and ignorance way back in the Buddha's time as well. So the Buddha was invited to come to the city of Vaisali, which was suffering this huge epidemic, and he did the sutra. And so in the sutra is chanted twice, and we're going to chant it along with the monks. And I'm going to make sure that when you chant it, if you're online, that you make sure your microphone is turned off, because it won't sync up with what we're doing here. And we're going to play the sutra through a microphone here so you can hear it. So you can chant it in your respective spaces, and those of us that are here in person will chant it all together. And I will put my mask back on when I'm chanting as well, just for safety reasons. There are mantras that are interspersed in this sutra. I don't know if they're really mantras or they're transliterated Sanskrit. So normally a mantra is like a seed syllable that is, or like a dharani that's not translated, because there's power in the sound itself. It's not translated into a meaning as such. But basically these, what they're calling mantras here they all have the basic meaning, like in the beginning it says, Vasarata, 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 Vasarata. And all of these mantras basically mean go away, disperse, decease, disappear. And what's interesting here is that he's not just addressing the germ that's causing the epidemic. He's addressing the whole environment that makes that germ possible to arise. So you see the point here? This is not magical thinking. We're not doing the sutra, and we're not saying, hey, the pandemic's going to be gone on September 15th because we chanted the sutra. That's not what we're doing here. We are evoking an intention to free ourselves and those in our community, in our world, to be free of greed, anger, and ignorance, which support the pandemic. Greed, people who make money off the pandemic. Go away. Go away. Don't be in our city. Go somewhere else. Don't be here. Those who are creating hatred and division among ourselves and are profiting off that, politically, economically, however, go away. Be gone. Those who are in denial, those who are in ignorance of the situation that is here, that are denying the actual reality that we are confronting, of having to reopen an economy, having to send kids back to school in such a way that they will be safe. Those who are in denial of science and the institutions that support such research, go away. Be gone. Or change your ways. Don't go away, just support the community so that we can be free of this pandemic. And that's the sense of the sutra. It's addressing the whole situation, not just the, and we often have war metaphors for addressing disease, which may not be so useful, but we often talk about the war on cancer. And again, maybe we need a softer metaphor here. But also notice that we are also struggling with other afflictions in our environment, in the world, on the planet, that are in many ways connected to the pandemic we are experiencing globally right now. So when we chant this sutra, we are evoking a very powerful intention to heal ourselves, to heal our community, our families, and our world in such a way that pandemics like this will not continue and hopefully will not arise in the future. Any questions about that before we begin? Okay, this is a beautiful sutra, and we've never done it here before at the Zen Center. It just feels very appropriate to do it at this moment. And after we're done, I'm going to invite Reverend Gyokuzan to talk about her practice of this, because she has been doing this as a home practice during the pandemic. And I didn't even know that till we were talking about it, and she told me, oh yeah, I've been doing that during the pandemic as a home practice. So you could also do this as a home practice if it resonates for you. Or some other service like the Gate of Sweet Nectar or a Heart Sutra. You could do these sutras, you could chant it in your own home as a home practice, and there's some power in evoking and giving form to our intentions and our vows. Okay, I'm going to ask Sensei to light a candle, which you may not, actually you could bring it a little forward so everyone online can see it. And it's just a way of setting the, yeah, there we go. And if you don't have the text in front of you from the website, we're going to share it right on the screen. So those of you, again, please remember to turn your microphones off on Zoom. And don't turn them on until, just don't turn them on unless you're asking a question. And then Sensei will Zoom this as we're chanting, and those of us that are here in the room have a printed copy of it in front of us. So we're going to begin. And make sure the volume is turned up good and loud.
Entering the city of Vaishali, homage to all the Buddhas.
Louder. Can you turn the volume up?
That I hear at one time the blessed one was residing in Adika at the impenetrable dwelling place. The blessed one said to the venerable Ananda, Ananda, let us proceed to the city of Vaishali. Let us do so, O honored one, replied the venerable Ananda, assenting to what the blessed one had said. Thereupon the blessed one one traveling through the country of Riji arrived in Vaishali. In Vaishali he stayed in Amrapali's grove. At that time the Blessed One said to the Venerable Ananda, Ananda, go to the city of Vaishali, place your foot on the threshold of the city gate and utter these mantras and these verses. Visarata, 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 Visarata. The Buddha who has compassion for the world has spoken. This is the wish of all Buddhas. It is the wish of all Pratyekya Buddhas. It is the wish of all Arhats. It is the wish of all those undergoing training. It is the wish of all Shravakas. It is the wish of all who speak words of truth. It is the wish of the Dharma. It is the wish of Kameshvara. It is the wish of Brahma. It is the wish of Pratyekya Brahman. It is the wish of Indra. It is the wish of the gods. It is the wish of the Lord of the demigods. It is the wish of all demigods. It is the wish of the servants of the demigods. It is the wish of all Buddhas. Visarata, 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 Visarata. The Buddha who has compassion for the world has spoken. Munchata, Munchata. Do not stay, the epidemic should cease. Nirgachata, 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 Nirgachata. The Buddha, the great God, the God of gods, the supreme God has arrived. The gods including Indra, the gods including Brahma, the gods including Ishana, the gods including Prajapati, and the four protectors of the world have come. Hundreds of thousands of gods, lords of the demigods, and hundreds of thousands of demigods have also come. Hundreds of thousands of Buddhas who have faith in the Blessed One have also come for the sake of all living beings, and they have come to bring great harm to you. So Nirgachata, 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 Nirgachata. Disperse quickly those of you who have hateful thoughts, may you be destroyed. Those who have loving thoughts, who do not wish to sin but wish to protect beings, stay and take on physical form. The Buddha who has compassion for the world has spoken. Somo, 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 somoru, 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 moro, 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 miri, 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 moro, 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 riti, riti, miri, miri, miriti, isi, miri, miriti, miri, si, mi. Kankara, karakata, kankara, karacha, kankara, 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 kankaro, titiko, risho, kankara, kankari, shere, herita, fusware, pore, 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 punata, nana, tata, ripo, ripo, nata, ta, nergacha, nergacha, ripo, ripo, nergacha, palayata, ripo, ripo, palayata. The Buddha who has compassion for the world, whose wish is to benefit all living beings, who abides in love, who is compassionate, who abides in joy, and who abides in equanimity, has arrived. Sipram Nirgachata Swaha. These mantras which were proclaimed to all the gods and all the Buddhas through the Buddha's supreme wisdom and truth will accomplish their purpose. These following verses will accomplish their purpose. He in whom all attachment and greed are conquered, all defilement gone, His mind is peace without harmful intent. He will bring you well-being. He who leads all worldly beings to tread the path of liberation, the teacher of all dharmas. He will bring you well-being, the teacher support of wandering beings. For the sake of every living creature, brings them all to master happiness. He will bring you well-being, the protector who with thoughts of love for all these beings sustains them always, just as he would his only child. He will bring you well-being, he who in samsara has been for all samsaric beings a support, an island and a friend. He will bring you well-being, he who has laid bare all phenomena, who is pure and free from deception, whose words are pure, whose very acts are purity. He will bring you well-being, this great hero who by taking birth, with perfection attained his purpose, and accomplished all his goals. He will bring you well-being, he whose birth when his whole earth, with all his forests shook and trembled, brought joy for every living creature. He will bring you well-being, he who caused on the seed of awakening, the earth to quake in all 6 ways, and Mara to feel despair. He will bring you well-being, he who turning the wheel of the Dharma, pronounced the truths of the noble ones, and was exalted as a sage the Muni. He will bring you well-being, the alluring one who defeated all the extremists with the Dharma, and brought all assemblies under his influence. He will bring you well-being, may the Buddha bring you well-being, may Chakra and the gods bestow well-being, and may well-being from the Buddhas too be provided to you always by the Buddha's merit and power, and the wishes of the gods. May whatever goal you seek this very day be accomplished, to like beings be well, for like beings be well, when you set out be well, and when you return be well in the daytime, be well in the night, be well at midday too. May all of you be always well. May all of you know no evil, surrounded by 1,000 gods. The Buddha has arrived, so you with hateful thoughts disperse, and you whose nature is compassion stay, by the power of the true words of the Buddhas. Pratikya Buddhas are us, and those being trained, those who do harm to the world, should be gone from the city. All sentient beings, all living creatures, all Buddhas and every one of you, may you have nothing but happiness. May you all be free from illness. May you all see what is good. May all of you know no evil. May whatever Buddhas are assembled here, all those who live upon the earth or in the sky, act always lovingly for human beings, and practice Dharma day and night. To these instructions the Venerable Ananda replied, I will do so, O honored one. He went to Vaishali as the Blessed One had instructed, and placing his foot on the threshold of the city gate, uttered these mantras and these verses, Visarata, 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 Visarata. The Buddha who has compassion for the world has spoken. This is the wish of all Buddhas, it is the wish of all Pratyekya Buddhas, it is the wish of all Arhats, it is the wish of all those undergoing training, it is the wish of all Shravakas, it is the wish of all who speak words of truth, it is the wish of the Dharma, it is the wish of Kameshwara, it is the wish of Brahma, it is the wish of Pratyekya Brahman, it is the wish of Indra, it is the wish of the gods, it is the wish of the Lord of the demigods. demigods, it is the wish of all demigods, it is the wish of the servants of the demigods, it is the wish of all Buddhas. Visarata, 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 the Buddha who has compassion for the world has spoken. Munchata, Munchata, do not stay, the epidemic should cease. Nirgachata, 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 the Buddha, the great God, the God of gods, the supreme God has arrived. The gods including Indra, the gods including Brahma, the gods including Kishana, the gods including Prajapati, and the four protectors of the world have come. Hundreds of thousands of gods, lords of the demigods, and hundreds of thousands of demigods have also come. Hundreds of thousands of Buddhas who have faith in the Blessed One have also come for the sake of all living beings, and they have come to bring great harm to you. So Nirgachata, 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 disperse quickly those of you who have hateful thoughts, may you be destroyed. Those who have loving thoughts, who do not wish to sin but wish to protect beings, stay and take on physical form. The Buddha who has compassion for the world has spoken. Sumo, 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 sumoru, 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 muru, 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 miri, 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 muru, miri, muru, miri, muru, miri, muru, muru, miri, 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 muru, riti, riti, miri, miri, miriti, isi, miri, miriti, miri, si, mi. Kankara kara kata, kankara kara cha, kankara, 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 kankaro titi kurisho, kankara, kankari shere, re, 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 herita fusware. Puri 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 punata na na ta ta ripu ripu na ta ta nirgacha nirgacha ripu ripu nirgacha palayata ripu ripu palayata. The Buddha who has compassion for the world, whose wish is to benefit all living beings, who abides in love, who is compassionate, who abides in joy, and who abides in equanimity, has arrived. Sipram Nirgachata Swaha. These mantras which were proclaimed to all the gods and all the Buddhas through the Buddha's supreme wisdom and truth will accomplish their purpose. The following verses will accomplish their purpose. He in whom all attachment and greed are conquered, all defilement gone. His mind is peace without harmful intent. He will bring you well-being. He who leads all worldly beings to tread the path of liberation, the teacher of all dharmas, he will bring you well-being, the teacher support of wandering beings, who for the sake of every living creature brings them all to master happiness. He will bring you well-being, the protector who with thoughts of love for all these beings sustains them always, just as he would his only child. He will bring you well-being, he who in samsara has been for all samsaric beings a support, an island and a friend. He will bring you well-being, he whose legs lay bare of phenomena, who is pure and free from deception, whose words are pure, whose very acts are purity. He will bring you well-being, this great hero who by taking birth with perfection attained his purpose and accomplished all his goals. He will bring you well-being, he whose birth when his whole earth with all his forests shook and trembled, brought joy for every living creature. He will bring you well-being, he who caused on the seed of awakening the earth to quake in all 6 ways, and Mara to feel despair. He will bring you well-being, he who turning the wheel of the Dharma pronounced the truth of the noble ones, and was extolled as a sage the Muni. He will bring you well-being, the alluring one who defeated all the extremists with the Dharma, and brought all assemblies under his influence. He will bring you well-being, may the Buddha bring you well-being, may Chakra and the gods bestow well-being, and may well-being from the Buddhas too be provided to you always by the Buddha's merit and power, and the wishes of the gods. May whatever goal you seek this very day be accomplished. To like beings be well, for like beings be well. When you set out be well, and when you return be well. Be well in the daytime, be well in the night, be well at midday too. May all of you be always well. May all of you know no evil, surrounded by 1,000 gods. The Buddha has arrived, so you with hateful thoughts disperse, and you whose nature is compassion stay. By the power of the true words of the Buddhas, Pratyekya Buddhas, Varas, and those being trained, those who do harm to the world should be gone from the city. All sentient beings, all living creatures, all Buddhas and every one of you, may you have nothing but happiness. May you all be free from illness. May you all see what is good. May all of you know no evil. May whatever Buddhas are assembled here, all those who live upon the earth or in the sky, act always lovingly for human beings, and practice Dharma day and night. This completes the noble Mahasutra on entering the city of Vaishali.
Now we're going to do the dedication with them. And if you can't read the words, just listen to it. They'll chant the dedication.
May the precious and sublime awakened mind arise in those where it has not arisen. Where it has arisen, may it never wane, but continue to increase forevermore. May the precious and sublime awakened mind arise in those where it has not arisen. Where it has arisen, may it never wane, but continue to increase forevermore. May the precious and sublime awakened mind arise in those where it has not arisen. Where it has arisen, may it never wane, but continue to increase forever.
Am I on?
Ask, yes.
Can you hear me? As I was asked by Roshi to say a few words about this because this is a sutra that I have experienced. Now, I use that word deliberately. I have experienced it. If you remember along about March of 2020, we shut down, the whole country shut down with the rest of the world. So I thought, well, okay, I will self-isolate. I live alone, but I was not without human contact. I had my phone, I had FaceTime, I had the ever-present Zoom. But what I didn't realize at the moment, that was for the next 7 months, I would never be alone in a room, physically alone with another person. So I turned on the TV. Now, I am a news junkie. I watch cable news, and I'm not particular. I watch it all. Oftentimes, cable news is really not news. It's just everybody's opinion. And everybody's got one. Along about the same time, I came across this little sutra. I don't really remember how, whether it was given to me or if I was, what they say, surfing the internet, but there it was on this particular site. And I read it, and my first thought was, well, isn't that just a lovely little story about the Buddha who has compassion for the world? So I thought, well, I'll listen to it. And I was quite surprised to find, when I listened to it, that I liked it. You know, I mean, let's face it, Buddhist chanting is usually one monotonous tone, drone, if you will. But this was okay. And what you heard in this chant was really only just one person. And the one person who was singing harmony just, you know, I guess, you know, did one voice over the other. So I was looking at this site, and I don't know what it was, but they had decided that they were going to chant this 108 times. And but they were going to chant it 108 times, like back to back. It takes 20 minutes to do it once. So they were just going to do it continuously till they hit 108. And they wanted people, you know, to tune in, as they said, log on, sorry. Or to chant it along with them. And I thought, not this Buddhist. Oh, no. So that was it. So I went back to watching TV. By then, the news had kind of started to heat up a little bit. You know, the pandemic had really taken hold. So it seemed all the channels had that little number in the corner. It was that little number that said how many people have died. And now they're beginning to argue and complain. What is this? Where did it come from? How did it get here? Who's responsible? Somebody had better take the fall. And I was right there with them, because not only was I looking at the TV, I was talking to the TV. I was swearing at the TV. I was throwing a finna peck of lumber, you know, the dirty wreck of fracks, you know. And I'm like, oh, fine. I have been alone too long. So I turned it off. I thought, Lord, I have got to do something sitting besides cursing at the TV. So I picked this up and I looked at it again and I thought, I'm not doing this for 108 times. That's ridiculous. But I said, you know, I can do this once a day for 108 days. So I made myself a personal vow that I was going to chant this once a day for 108 days. I didn't actually chant it. I listened to the recording, and then I read along with it. It was great. A couple of weeks. I thought, oh, this is pleasant. Oh, well, I can do this. All right. Along come number day 21, 25, 30. I'm like, oh. I don't think I can listen 5. This is enough. That's it. I said, no, I made my little vow here. I'm going to forge on ahead. 50, 55. I remember day 57. I suddenly realized I'd reached halfway. Now I'm past the point of no return. Yes, 60. So, and listening to it every day, I will admit that there was maybe about a half a dozen times where I didn't actually sit down and read it. I played it. Well, I kind of played it in the background while I was doing the laundry or emptying the dishwasher or something, but it counted. It counted. I could hear it. So one day I was cleaning and dusting, or I was vacuuming or something, and something strange kind of happened. I'm vacuuming, and all of a sudden I'm vacuuming. I'm going, near got shut, near got shut, this thing was in my head. It was like it's like a tapeworm. It went in my ear. Like everybody's had, you know, the song that you think of. It's on a playback in your head. You can't seem to get rid of it. So I said, oh, there it was. I said,
like a worm, you need to take a dewormer.
Oh, really? Except I'm not a horse. So whatever. Went back to watching my TV. I remember a specific day. It was Sunday morning, and I watched the Talking Heads on Sunday morning. You know, there's one on each channel. And if I'm not going to be around, I will tape them so that Sunday afternoon I get to hear all 3 back to back. You know, it's not necessarily a good idea. This particular morning now they're arguing. Now they're not talking about COVID, they're talking about politics. Well, Now, of course, these are, you know, the muckety mucks. They're very common, professional, and they argue in 4-syllable words. Nonetheless, they were all arguing, so intent on defending their positions that nobody listens. And I was right there with them. You knucklehead, where did you get your degree from, Idiot University? So there I am, I'm back again. And I thought, oh, no. So I sat and I purposely pulled this out of my head because it's always in there. You know, Moody. After a few moments, I suddenly realized that wasn't the only thing in my head. I could kind of hear this voice in the back of my brain. I could hear the words. Now, I have not memorized this, no. But I could hear the words. The Buddha who has compassion for the world, whose only wish is to benefit all beings, who abides in love, who is compassionate, who abides in joy, who abides in equanimity, he has arrived. So now the whole thing starts to evolve, and what little is left of my brain by then. And I started to notice every once in a while, not every day, but occasionally throughout the day, something would trigger this memory of this sutra. And there's parts of this sutra that are actually kind of fun. My favorite part is, may 2-legged beings be well, may 4-legged beings be well. And I'm sitting on my balcony watching a parade of people down Lake Street. And all of a sudden, here comes this guy, he's walking a 3-legged dog. Well, may 3-legged beings be well. May 6-legged beings be well. May 1,000-leggers be well. All of you who go out, may you be well. All of you who return, hey, may you be well. Okay, that's enough. Well, day number 108 came and went. I had a little celebration. I turned the darn thing off, shoved this in the drawer. That's it. The problem was, I couldn't turn it off because it's in my head. I still play it, and I do not play it every day. In fact, I didn't play it for several months. So I still play it once in a while as a refresher. Why am I doing that? Why is this stuck inside me so quickly? What does it do for me? Well, what it does for me is it tends to calm me down and lift me up. It lifts me up to a different plane. Now, admittedly, that might only be momentary. Okay, this is not, might just be for a while, but nonetheless, it's there. Isn't that what we all need when I'm looking at my cable news? Everybody in this country needs something to calm them down, to make them, argue less, open to listening more, something to pick us up to a higher plane, to be a better version of ourselves. Just be able to pull this out of your head, like just a few lines here and there. I think Roshi would call it, turn around and again face your true north. The verse, the last 3 or 4 sentences on this sutra. It says, all sentient beings, all living creatures, may you have nothing but happiness. May you all be free from illness. May you all see what is good. May all of you know no evil. Thank you.
Thank you, Gyokuzan. That was wonderful. So we have a little time for comments, questions, remarks. Anybody? You want to do it 107 more times?
Not right now.
What?
What, Robert?
I said not right now.
I loved it. Pat and I just loved it, Gyokuzan. And I was trying to sing along with it, and I was crying at the same time. The beauty of it and the need that we have today. And it isn't just the pandemic. It's January 6th, it's September 11th, it's Afghanistan. It's the inability of people everywhere to get along, all our tribalism, our supposed hatreds. It's all bound up in this lovely sutra. Thank you so much.
In the room, we're all looking at everyone on the monitor. We're not looking at each other. This is hybrid, so anyone can speak. Oh, we need a microphone. Yeah.
So, oops, I'm also doing this thing here. Okay. So thank you so much, Gyokuzan, for sharing your practice for 108 days. I think it's really beautiful because our earth, I think, is so much in need of this. We're not separate, really, so our earth is also suffering. And it's a beautiful thing that, we can be free of these 3 poisons, even if for a moment. It helps. So thank you very much.
That was so funny, first of all. Second of all, I thought it was really cool how, without even intending upon it, like it kind of just, the message kind of just creeped into your everyday life, like kind of like a subconscious background noise. And I think that's kind of a true testament to like kind of what we kind of feed our brain, we'll recycle back in it when we're not expecting it. So if we're always just watching anger or, you know, everything that's going on right now, it's just gonna kind of fuel everything that we do without even knowing it. And so the fact that you're doing that, I don't know if I'm making sense, but the fact that you're doing that, I think really shows that how everything can kind of just influence our thoughts. And I think I'm gonna try doing that, this chant thing.
Listen to anything for 108 days. And it's like, you know, it works, I mean, whether you're listening to a sutra or a QAnon, pick one. Where do you want to go?
Yeah. One of my teachers, Trungpa Rinpoche, used to say that when you start to love the Dharma, it's like catching a virus. Probably a bad metaphor, but you know, when you love something deeply that brings forth compassion and love in the world, then it is sort of like catching another kind of virus that doesn't go away. And then you can always choose whether you want to listen to the, you know, love, or you want to listen to the talking heads. So if there's no more remarks or questions, we'll close for the Sunday. Please be well, be safe, take care of your families and your children, your parents, your siblings. Just take care of everyone. Take care of yourself. Thank you so much for participating. Bye. These microphones are dangerous. Because I was giving a class the other night and I had to go to the bathroom. I had the microphone turned on and I just barely remembered that I should turn the microphone on when I'm in the bathroom.